everyone. Welcome to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. I'm Maria Cribbs.
And I am Josh Cribbs. Welcome.
Welcome to another beautiful day. Now, I will say I was pleasantly, I was feeling good this week when the temperature almost hit 60.
Yeah, it was like 50
good.
and some change.
You know, it's been cloudy in Cleveland, but it's cloudy today. It's back cold.
I hate on our street where everybody's snow melts in their yard and ours don't melt all the way.
Maybe the sun. Maybe that's why I'm
It
always
is because of
sad
how the
and
sun is, but
lonely in the house because the sun doesn't shine in our windows.
that's Ohio. That's not just...
You said our streets, our
No,
driveway
I'm
still
saying
has
the
all the
snow.
snow on. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, well
it-
then. Oh, well,
yeah.
all right. Well, you know the groundhog. What's his name, Ryan?
Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney?
Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah.
You said it differently still, but go ahead.
Punxsutawney.
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 P-U-X.
I got it. I didn't say
Okay,
I didn't
go
say
ahead. Yeah, you
Bartholomew
didn't say
this time.
Bartholomew
Right.
this time.
Well, he predicting 6 more weeks of what? Cold weather?
He's a lie and
Winter,
and the
right?
truth ain't in him.
Right. So I wanted to ask y'all, has anybody ever had groundhog?
For dinner?
Yeah.
No, I didn't have
I
groundhog.
got a review for you. Ryan, hit it.
Just predicted 6 more weeks of winter. I went all the way to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and we got him. Let's try him and rate it 1 through 10. Heard he has kids, and the crazy thing is, baby, I'm eating your father, so tell him stop trying to do this 6 more weeks of winter. Like, I'm tired of it. Perfectly seasoned. Let's try that part right there. Look at that middle. Just nice and tender. The kids of the groundhog, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but next year you might be in charge. Don't do no silly. Or you gonna be just like this with no bloodline.
So the kids of the groundhog, if they watching that, they need to watch out because we cooking the groundhogs. We don't want any more winter. We want sunshine. We want spring. We want all the flowers to bloom. We can't take this anymore.
I think we don't understand, Ryan. I think some people don't understand the purpose of the groundhog saying he's not a magician, the groundhog. He's not God. He just has the ability to say, oh, it's about to be winter again. Let me go back into my hole. That's basically it. He's not the bearer of the news.
Why you always got to break something down and be literal?
I'm
We
just-
just having a good time.
I'm just saying.
Have you ever had groundhog?
I didn't have groundhog.
It looked good, didn't it?
It looked like
Now that might have been some lamb chops.
Yeah, that's about to say.
Ryan, you ever had groundhog meat?
No, I can't say that I have. I can't say that I want to.
It tastes like something we had for school lunch back in the day. Some groundhog meat.
Not that video was cute. Shout out to him for making that cute
Yeah.
video. Now, there is a woman that is going viral, and I think she's from the United States because she has like an East Coast accent. Josh, she's over in Pakistan for some reason making demands. Have y'all seen these viral videos? Ryan, you got the video for us? I want to show y'all because this is just crazy. Watch this.
Please sit down.
Be quiet. I'm not sitting down.
Please have seat.
My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets, in cash, okay? That's a demand to the government. The government is gonna fix up these buildings, fix up the streets, and clean up these streets. It's ridiculous out here. I do not like it, okay? Lock him up.
Right now.
Right now, I'm going to my mom. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Clear the way.
I believe she said her name was Onaji
I think that's New York.
Ahmed or something like that.
New York, East Coast.
How did she get over in Pakistan?
And why isn't she in a dungeon?
What do you mean? Like, oh,
I mean, in certain countries, you can't just go. She over there and got an audience. She's at a press conference.
why is she holding press conferences?
What is the significance
How
of
did
it?
she get? She said she came over here to marry someone. He said she's having a baby,
And the
they're going
guy
to
didn't
Dubai.
marry her, I heard. So
How did
she
how did
changing
they
things.
link up? Like what?
But who is she to command such? And they paid her. She
Please.
got like 50 or 60 something thousand.
She received some money
She
from
got
them.
money. I'm so confused. I think there's another
Let me go
play.
here and book my flight to Pakistan.
I think
real
there's
quick.
another thing at play that we're not being privy to. But she has to be a dignitary of some sort or related to somebody.
You got that
because-
tweet, that post.
What?
Go ahead, you keep talking. I'm gonna
No,
have
I
Ryan
just
put
don't
the-
know Like, and I say that with all sincerity. Why isn't she in the dungeon? Because, like, if anybody else go over to Pakistan, they, a woman especially.
Look at the
how
comments,
they treat people over there.
The comment says she's holding the whole country for ransom. And they was like,
she did.
They was like, the media can't be this bored in Pakistan. It's ridiculous out here. How she said it's ridiculous out here? Like, who are you? Why are you saying you need 100K to clean up these streets? And then someone said going to a foreign country and make yourself president in 2 days is wild. Like, who?
Had the press conference. They got, clearing out people. They listening to her.
Yeah.
Traffic stop. I mean, wow.
I got so many questions because I'm a makeup artist.
Do we
gotta
go to Pakistan?
I want to know what's going on
to make things happen, to make it a go.
Yeah, we need to book our flights.
Wow.
Immediately. So this is the thing. I don't know how I got up on the NBA side of the algorithm, but what is this Luka trade situation? Somebody please explain this to me because all I'm concerned about is the Cavs.
Well, in my eyes, and I'll let Ryan jump into Luka, the best guy on the Mavs, one of their top guys, got traded for Anthony Davis off the Lakers. I think it was a 1-for-1, and they both were kind of like, wow. They didn't have a say in it. I think it shocked everybody because it was like, wow. So I think Luka coming to the Lakers is a big deal, adding some fuel to the fire that's trying to burn over there.
And Anthony Davis leaving, is that nothing?
It was big because Anthony Davis ain't had no clue. He was giving an interview, and they was like, check your phone, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah, Ryan, what you heard of this?
Yeah, it's not every day you trade a 25-year-old global superstar in his prime to another West Coast team. But at the end of the day, the Mavericks, what I gather is they had concerns about his weight and conditioning. They weren't fully committed to giving him, the 5-year supermax, $350 whatever million that is. And the Lakers were looking at what life was going to be like post LeBron James. The Lakers never go long without a global superstar. Kobe into LeBron into Luka Doncic now. So it makes sense a little bit, I guess. The Mavericks looked at AD gives them the better chance to win in the next 2 years, and the Lakers view Luka as their franchise piece moving forward.
So Ryan is just not here because of his producing capabilities. This is why Ryan gives us the 411 because I didn't even think of that.
Ryan
Post
stays in the know.
LeBron, post LeBron, the Lakers are never without a global superstar. They have a brand to uphold, and Luka fits perfectly because he's a brand. He's representing a huge brand right now.
But how does it suck to just be at a press conference? Anthony Davis, you said, right?
I thought you was going back to the lady.
No, not her, not the lady
Pakistan.
from Pakistan. To be sitting there and you find out you're getting traded on your phone?
Yeah, that happens more often than you think, though. Yeah, that happens. That happens often.
You thought your job sucked. Look at how they treat people
it's
out here.
Dog eat dog world.
All right, look. And speaking of the dogs, we're gonna be talking about them when we return. We're gonna be talking about the Browns with a couple of special guests. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. And we have a very special guest on the show today.
Yes, indeed. A very special guest. We got former Browns legend, Pro Bowl Joe Haden.
Pro Bowler?
What's up? Pro Bowl corner.
A corner, right. What's up, Joe? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Chris, Maria, man, missed you guys.
Miss
Thank
you
you guys
more.
for having me.
We definitely miss y'all, man.
Now, we tricked you because we know why you probably think you know why you're on the show today because it was some big news, some breaking news that took place yesterday. But we really want to trick you because this is really an episode of big play cribs. And so what we want you to do is grab the camera and let's see the house, baby. Let's see the house.
Nah, man, don't mess with. Ain't no big play crib. She messing with you, Joe. She messing with you, man.
We love the man. What's it called? Is it the man barn? What is your area? What is it called, Joe?
Barn 23.
Barn 23.
Barn 23.
You got the stable. You got it's just personalized.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
People can go on Joe's social media and look at his he got his golf. Mm-hmm. He has all the football jerseys. He has the lounge areas.
I love it.
That sounds like a complete guy's night. So I don't know about the ladies, Maria.
Well,
I don't think y'all.
I'm sure the head lady in charge be up in there for sure.
Oh yeah,
gotta
running
walk
things.
through sometimes. No, but Joe, Josh has you here because he wants to talk business. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all do your thing, baby.
And I have Ryan in studio as well, our producer. And Myles Garrett requested a trade. And that's the big news in Cleveland. He is pretty much our staple, especially because of, the injury to Nick Chubb. And we all love Nick Chubb. And we got staples on the Browns. And you know how that go. This is our number one guy, top jersey in Cleveland right now. But he's requesting a trade right after the Pro Bowl. I don't think that's insignificant that it came after the Pro Bowl, because there were talks of him, staying in Cleveland. Andrew Berry came out. He said, you know what, we're going to, we don't plan on trading him. And this was before. He's going to stay at Cleveland Brown, blah, blah, blah. And then even Myles had spoke to it. I want to stay at Cleveland Brown. I just want to know the direction. And then now the news came out. He officially released a statement and everything. What say you? What is your take on Myles Garrett wanting to trade?
So yeah, basically though, with him being out there in the Pro Bowl, I think him being around other dudes, hearing their situations, hearing how their organization is going, I think that might have helped. But honestly, from my perspective, man, I think that dude he wants to be remembered as one of the greats. And I think from perspective in Cleveland, he's been putting his best foot forward, trying to do his best, all pros, all everything. And you can only do but so much. And I think organization wise, just being able to bring in guys, keeping guys, being stable, and knowing that at one day he's only one man. He's the defensive lineman, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The captain of the team. He's balling, he's doing his job, but you need the higher ups to know that they're controlling what they can control. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the things and trying to put people in place to get us to a championship. And he's not getting any younger, and him having all these all-pro years and just performing great. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be good. And I think like Joe Thomas is a guy that I look to that turning that city around, if you can get a championship there, you will be remembered and you are going to be legendary in Cleveland. So I think that's what Myles did. He tried to re-up there. He did a second contract, but it's like, I'm not getting any younger, and the situations just keep happening where he doesn't feel the consistency. And I can feel him, especially when you want to be remembered the greats. And Myles Garrett is not a reason at all why Cleveland doesn't have a championship. And if he were to stay there and it weren't to happen for him, he'd be one of the players like Joe T that we were like this. That's not a guy that shouldn't have a championship.
Right.
He just stayed in the situation, tried to look out for a city. But balling wise, when you see Chris Jones racking up rings, when you see these players start racking up rings, and when you want to be one of the greatest and remember, they're ring counting. And that's something that's very important to players now, where it's like trying to build one and get one is special, but like, do I have one? Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where I got it. As long as at the end of the day, when I retire, I'm a champion. You know what I'm saying? No matter where it is, then I can be able to stand on that. So,
but that's just something, right? Because you can be remembered like Joe T, Hall of Famer, because I think Myles would be on his way to a Hall of Fame, right? I think he is on his way to a Hall of Fame career, and that's a done deal, just like Joe T. But he don't have any rings to go with it, right? Not even a berth to the AFC Championship. And I guess that seeps into the psyche of a guy like Myles Garrett. I had an opportunity to go into the playoffs, but I had to leave the Browns. I had to do it with the Colts. And we lost in the AFC Championship, Deflategate. And that's the closest I came to a Super Bowl. So I get it. But I feel as though he did see those guys at the Pro Bowl. He see guys that are, on top of their game, and it's not for long, Ryan, and it's going to end soon. He's already made a mark in Cleveland, and I think he's looking at it as the two things. Either he wants a ring that bad, or play in front of the crowd, the bigger crowd, the championship crowd that bad for a ring, or Joe, maybe he wants that guaranteed contract.
I don't think it's the guaranteed money at all. I think with Myles now, he's in a position where he's going to get the money wherever he goes. The money is irrelevant to him because at the end of the day, he's a great player. He's going to, for like first ballot Hall of Fame if you were to retire today. So I'm thinking he's looking at it as, where can I go? Money's going to be good. I can go play in all 31 of these teams are going to want Myles Garrett at a nice contract. He doesn't not worry about being highest paid, but paid handsomely, around $30 million a year, wherever he goes, that can be on a contending team. That's where I'm looking like the money thing. He's Myles Garrett. He's walking around, and all teams are going to want to take him at a $30 million contract, easy. So that's not. I don't think that's where his mindset is. I think he wants to go to a team that he got to go do his thing. And on the other side of the ball, there's just, when I went to the Steelers, I'm just saying, just the knowing you have AB, knowing you have a Ben, knowing no matter what, you do your job. If you give up a touchdown, you don't have to worry about that's the worst thing that could ever happen. No, next play, let's make a play. You don't ever feel like one play is going to be the last thing. No, we got somebody over here that's going, come over on their end. They put the offense has the game on their shoulders. So it's a whole different feeling when you are put in a position where now, oh man, we can play freely because because if I do make a mistake, I know they got my back.
Right.
So that's a position that he's never really been on. Defense got to make plays. You got to ball. You got to go crazy.
Absolutely.
And that's what he's going to do regardless because he's Myles. But when you bring that $30 million player to a Kansas City, to a team that's already to a Philly, to a team that's already nice, and you're just an additional piece. You're just a puzzle piece. They don't just need you to do everything. No, you're just going to help to what we already got. And I think with Myles, he knows that now. He's really looking at his career and trying to win ships. And I'm not mad at him. You know what I'm saying? I think with me, I got cut from the Browns in the time I'm like, man, I'm going to just stay here. I'm going to stay there forever. But then when they released me, you understand, it's a business. I'm not going to be in the league too long. Let's go try to get in the best opportunity where I'm going to make some money and I can see myself playing in the playoffs because they still only talk about the teams playing the playoffs, the teams that go deep and all of these dudes' careers and being able to make those game-changer plays in real important games. Like regular season games is all good, but Myles making those strip sacks in the AFC Championship game. That's what make legacy plays where it's like, boom, these are stamps.
Legacy plays. You heard it here. We got NFL legend, Pro Bowl player, cornerback, Joe Haden. Thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate you. I definitely agree with you on a lot of the things. I don't think it's the money now that I heard, what you said, because I was thinking of guaranteed money, but now I understand, man, he won a ring, and that's what it is, man. Thanks for coming on the show, man. We appreciate you.
For sure. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Joe. Welcome back to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. Now, Josh, the city is talking.
Yes, they are.
The fans want to know what's going on. They want different perspectives, and you have a guest on the show that the fans love, social media loves.
Yeah.
We all love.
Friend of the show. Browns enthusiast, Chef Zay, he was out there on the street getting reaction from the fans on the Myles Garrett requesting a trade. He has a video I want to show you guys. Check this out.
Got to start with ownership and then obviously the front office. I don't think you can really blame Kevin Stefanski. He's just doing the best with what he's got.
I wholeheartedly place the blame on the ownership, Jimmy Haslam, for allowing this culture to become so toxic, allowing this culture to sink so far down the hill because he wanted more control. He wanted the glitz and glam that he thought Watson could bring. And that enabler, in my opinion, he's a total enabler, Paul DePodesta, has allowed this to go on for so long. You take a businessman from Tennessee who defrauded a company, give him a football team, and you hire Jonah Hill from Moneyball and you expect good results. Absolutely not. I'm fed up with this ownership.
It's all Jimmy Haslam.
All Jimmy Haslam.
I'm tired of the Stefanski slander. I'm tired of the Andrew Berry slander. He brought all these guys into Cleveland. It's all Haslam. He wants to get out of this beautiful stadium on the lake. He's in it for the money. He has no idea that a Super Bowl brings a team money. He's completely oblivious to it.
Is this your final straw as a Browns fan, or are you going to rock with the Browns no matter what?
I mean, I'm always going to rock with the Browns because it's my city. Don't buy season tickets. You can go to the games for cheap because the team always sucks at the end of the year. They're like $5. I went to the Chiefs game for like $2 and I snuck into a suite and was just like watching the game, bro. Like, I mean, it don't matter. Don't buy season tickets.
I'm done. Honestly, my final straw was when I went to the home opener against the Dallas Cowboys. Spent $300 on tickets. Never
so
again.
So no more ticket buying?
Nope, I'm done. Okay. No more merch. I'm not buying any more merch. I'm done.
I feel like I'm always going to be a Browns fan. Grew up loving them, so.
I'm diehard. It's going to take a lot more than a guy like Deshaun Watson, even though he's a terrible human being, to keep me from loving this team. But, man, it gets hard in these streets.
It gets hard in these streets, Josh.
It do get hard in these streets. We bring friend of the show, Chef Zay.
From
What's
the streets,
up, baby?
From the streets and probably in the streets right now. He's in his car. What's up, Chef Zay?
What's going on? What's going on, family? Miss y'all. Hope everything been good. Always glad to be back on the return.
We love having you on the show, and we just want to first say thank you for allowing us to use that footage. With Josh seeing that, he was like, man, Chef Zay took it to the streets. We got to have him on there. So we appreciate you going out there, and you got the live reaction, so we had to have you on the show.
And not just that. Let's talk about some of those reactions, right? Because some of them, I mean, they were spitting. And Ryan, our producer in the studio, he was like, oh, my God. He hit him with the, Haslam has defrauded his company. Now he's coming up here, and he don't know what the Super Bowl is. Our fans are upset. Myles Garrett is a staple. And we already lost, a de facto healthy Nick Chubb through the injury. That's the NFL. But we could always hang our hat on a guy like Myles Garrett. He's requested a trade. How do you feel about this, man? How is it rocking your world?
You just said it. It rocked my world. I was driving when the news came down, and you know me, I'm first on the scene. I got to go ahead and make the video ASAP. So I was at loss for words because, you know, I kind of echoed something like this throughout the year. I believe it was probably like 5 or 6 weeks left, and I just felt the way that we was going. I said it. I was like, you know, I don't know how you, number one, get people to come in, but how do you convince the players that are already on the team to run this thing back because it was so bad? But I didn't think that it would get Myles Garrett bad. Like, that was the last thing on the back of my mind. So I'm still kind of in shock. It's kind of that hangover feeling today where it's like, man, it's gloomy outside. Like, it just feel like the world is kind of just slowly dwindling down. But you know, we used to this.
Right. We are used to it.
You're not
and
used-
this is a shocking thing. You did mention you had some theories. Now, when you look at him requesting a trade, there was something, and Ryan, Maria, he did specifically call out Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry in his press conference had stated, you know, Myles, we want to make sure Myles stays in Cleveland and finishes in Canton.
So you saying Andrew Berry called out?
Andrew said we want Myles to finish his career in Cleveland and then end up in Canton. Myles said in his statement, I don't necessarily care about finishing in Canton. I want us to finish in the Super Bowl with a ring.
Yeah.
That was a direct dig at Barry. And I'm like, dang, because Barry, that meant what Barry did was try to give all the, you know, glory in his statement to Myles Garrett.
Like, I don't care about being down in Canton. I plan on being where everybody gonna be at on Sunday.
He want the team to have success, not just him. His success is already written.
Yeah.
And one of the stipulations was I need to see a plan. I don't think he saw that plan. What do you think about that?
That's my biggest question coming away from all of this is Myles Garrett already told us what it was. He needs to know what the plan was. So what exactly did Andrew Berry present to him to where he went from, oh, it looks like we pretty close, to get me up out of here? Because that's basically laughing in your face at this point.
Right.
But I was hearing on the radio today that Mary Kay was on, and she said that Andrew Berry is feeling like this isn't we're gonna try to contend for the Super Bowl next year. We're gonna do that in about 2 to 3 years. So Mary Kay, if there's any merit to what she's talking about and the direction that the front office is saying, we not looking to compete. We looking to be relevant. If some wins fall into our lap, sure, but we looking to 2 to 3 years, which played into my big theory that I've been talking about for months, is that they ain't trying to do this until Brook Park. I think personally that everything, and you go back, and I had a revelation of it today, you go back to all of this thing, Andrew Berry told us it was a 10-year plan. That means that they've been thinking about trying to get out of Cleveland and out of this contract since Andrew Berry has came into this thing. And once they get into Brook Park, that's when they're going to swing for the fences. They've never swung for the fences except for the Deshaun Watson thing, and that came up. that didn't even leave the infield.
Well, that would suck if I was a player on the team right now.
Yeah.
What was that?
I said that would suck if I was a player on the roster right now, because that means to me you don't care, and they don't care about my future, my career. You know, I'm trying to get some rings. I'm trying to make a name for myself, because all of us are not going to end up being Browns legends, and the majority of us are not going to end up being down in Canton. So I think when you say, oh, we got a plan, but if I'm Myles Garrett and I'm at the tail end of my career, and y'all saying this thing gonna get popping off in about
saying is true,
5 years, then that means I'm not a part of this plan.
If what you're saying about Mary Kay is true,
you basically on the roster just rotting away.
I would leave
There's no
too.
chance. There's no shot. Yeah.
I would leave too if what you saying. If he's saying that we're 2-3 years off, Myles Garrett has 2 to 3 years in his prime,
right?
To where he's going to be equivalent to, and this is not a dig, this is just evolution because we're human.
Right.
He'll be equivalent to a Zadarius Smith, right? In 2 to 3 years. Right?
I've got a source real close to the situation where I'll get a lot more information. Not probably this year, but maybe next year. I'll have a lot more to give on how this whole debacle is coming down, because it's about to get worse. I know it feels like this is rock bottom, but we about to dig it a little bit deeper, because this is just the surface of it. If you think Myles Garrett wants to get up out of here, if you're a player in the locker room, you like, wait a minute, hold up, our best player wants to get up out of here. We ain't about to win.
Everybody gonna jump ship.
Do we got enough money? And then this is when it comes to what Cleveland has always done as well. Now we got to try to throw money at these players to come here. We don't even got the money to do that for the next couple years. So if it feels as if Mary Kay spitting facts that you might as well go ahead and check out for the next 2 to 3 years, because again, Brook Park is on their mind, and that's when I think they'll take the full swing at this.
Looking at this situation, other teams have been here before. Nothing good this offseason has been going on for the Browns just because of us trying to figure out who will take it number one. I'm going to bring Ryan in on this. Ryan, do you think this news makes the Browns want to think differently about that number 2 spot? Now, because if they lose Myles, that's a real rebuild. Does that, in your mind, and I'll ask you next, Chef Zay, does that in your mind make you feel different about that pick?
I mean, I think it has to make them think different. I think anytime you get a pivot so bad that your best player since '99 is saying that he wants to leave to go to a real competitor, I mean, first of all, face value, what does that tell you? Your leader in the locker room has no faith in the front office, so that's first and foremost. And second of all, I mean, you were going towards a rebuild whether you like it or not, because if you don't have a quarterback, I like to say it, you're just pissing in the wind. You're doing nothing competing with these elite caliber quarterbacks, especially in the AFC. So I'm still under the guise of, I kind of flipped of drafting a quarterback, because what happens? You can get all these pieces, these franchise stars, Denzel, Myles Garrett, you name it. What does it matter? All you got was one playoff win, another playoff appearance, and you got your doors blown off by a rookie quarterback. At this point, you just have to find a quarterback, and until you do that, I know it's a hard task, but until you do that, then maybe you go start taking these players, the best availables, like Abdul Carter's, Mason Graham's, right? Because we've seen in the past, just in this last 5 years, if you don't got the quarterback, none of it matters, and you're back to a full rebuild. And guess what? If you don't get your quarterback this year, oh, well, you're just going to be back in the same well next year, winning 3-4 games and looking to draft another quarterback.
The same well. Chef Zay, I don't want to hold you long. Now, do you think it's anything the Browns can do, Andrew Berry can do? We know this is Berry's realm. Do you think it's anything he can do to talk to Myles and say, hey, we're going to offer you this or we're going to do this, and Myles will stay? Is there anything that we can do to keep Myles?
I tried to talk about this on a live stream yesterday, and it was just so hard to formulate something, because you need something that even us crazy optimistic fans can't even think of. It has to be something so over the top. And,
what is the over the top part? Like, what does that look like? Because to me, Deshaun Watson's contract was over the top.
And I don't think,
but we had to do that to
when it comes to Myles, I don't think it's about the money.
Yeah, and Joe has said that. Yeah. But maybe it's other things. So what I would throw out there, Chef Zay, Brian, Maria, what if Andrew Berry says, you know what, we're willing to do thing and make some compromises for you. We want to keep you in Cleveland. How about you and your agency, your agent or whatever, y'all come in the war room. Let's decide who we gonna take number 1 or number 2 at the number 2 pick. Or we plan on trading down. We want to help. We want you, since you're a leader and a staple on this team, help us rebuild this team.
And is that normal?
But see, here's the problem with that, though. You've got one camp, Myles Garrett, who wants to win right now, like next year and the year after, and then again we go back to the Mary Kay thing, where you got Andrew Berry, who's looking at this thing like, we're not trying to win a Super Bowl next year. We looking 2 to 3 years down the road. And that's where the line in the sand is being drawn. It's like, you got two sides that just ain't seeing eye to eye on the picture.
But they have to pivot
Kevin Stefanski,
right?
And what was that?
They have to pivot then.
They have to pivot. But see, here's the thing, though. We had everything set in place. John Dorsey set us up on a tee for kickoff at 1 p.m. to go do it. And you gutted everything that he's done. What did John Dorsey say when the first thing that he came in when he became the GM? What did he say? You remember? He said, we need to get real football players on this team. Yeah. Where are the real football players? Not like, again, I'm not discrediting any of the players on our team.
I
But
got you.
who is that guy, that Jarvis Landry clip that it
Right.
echoed out? That it's contagious. That stuff don't live here no more.
Am I
Then you
tripping?
brought in Baker Mayfield, who embraced it and was like, you know what? I want to be the guy to change this organization around
Right.
and do all of these things. We don't have that anymore. And now we got a bunch of these analytic guys coming in here trying to play by the numbers, who gather all this information to make the best decision possible. But even when they get the information, they are still so stuck on their way and how they want to do it. And that's the problem.
Facts. We need to put that church music behind him because he preaching in here. What you
John
got?
Dorsey. Am I tripping? Were you coaching when he was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
You're
John
right.
Dorsey.
He did gut. They did gut a lot of things. They gut my husband because he was coaching under that regime as well. I just think when it comes to Myles, it sucks. But then if you try to bring me to the war room, that's not my job.
I know,
That's
but
what
exactly.
y'all get paid to
It's
do.
treating him-
Y'all gonna give me some more. Y'all gonna give me some ownership
But
of the team.
Ryan,
Maybe talk. You
What
know
is LeBron doing?
But
But how it-
look at that
but
Luka.
that's-
Luka and
Yeah,
that's what it's taking.
But
The NIL
they
money.
said he ain't had no say in that. They say he ain't even know about that. Now, it's kind of hard to believe.
But I'm saying how in the NBA they get to call out players and be like, I think we need such and such and such and such, and we can win it.
But
And
see,
coaches
that's
too.
the
They
difference
bring
between the
coaches on board
NBA and the
too.
NFL, though. The NFL is a whole different ballgame
Yeah.
compared to the
Only
NBA.
because
NBA gets it.
players
The
aren't.
NBA
Myles Garrett, I bet you can't. If Myles Garrett walk in there and say, "Look, if you let me pick it, I'm staying," they gonna have to let him pick, or come to a consensus and involve him.
But then if he picks someone,
But you know the
and it
difference
doesn't work
between
out,
the NFL and the NBA, though?
then it's
Is that one player can actually alter an NBA team. You got 22 guys, 11 on offense, 11 on defense.
One player,
Unless you the
can
quarterback.
yes, the quarterback. And now, this conversation is changing my
y'all
mentality.
so caught up on these draft
No.
pitches and ignoring the fact that we need coaches.
But no,
we need
you're
a QB.
right.
You can't just be like, oh, we
Bingo.
want draft picks. Y'all ain't really got no legit coaches out there that can get the job done either.
Ryan has made me,
Y'all suck
because
on
of the conversation. I agree with Ryan. Ryan, I've been always saying we need to trade back. But the more
I've
and
been
more
on that
we
side,
talk,
too.
yeah, because you get more. And I'll rather, use all those picks, and maybe we'll
Get a couple of
we'll
guys.
find gold from one
Yeah.
of them, one or two or
But
three
you know
of
what the
them.
question is with that, though? While I'm all on that side, though, do we trust this organization to make the right picks? See, here's my problem with the gathering the picks, and why I get so frustrated with the fans who want to be like, oh, well, just trade Myles and get all these picks. How many first-round picks have the Cleveland Browns had in '99, and how many of them have been home runs?
And how many of them have been a
I
bust?
get it. No,
Go
I
ahead
get
and say
it.
it, Chef Zay.
I was going to say this, and you're right, Chef Zay. I was going to say that, I'm a believer of taking a quarterback in that first round, because our team is made or broken from a quarterback standpoint. And that's true from any NFL team. If you look at who's in a Super Bowl right now, you have elite quarterbacks, not tier 1, tier 2, elite. These are elite guys.
Jalen Hurts is debatable.
Yeah, I mean,
So you're saying if
it's
you can't get
debatable.
Shador or who's the guy, Cam Ward?
I mean, anybody.
But is he
Quarterback,
even?
though.
See, this is where it's like the Browns always fall in the right situation, but at the wrong time.
Right.
If we fell in this situation next year, when you've got multiple guys who are quote unquote to be franchise altering guys, the media has had to convince us that Cam Ward can alter a franchise. That Shador Sanders
It happens
can
every
alter.
year. It happens every year with the draft picks.
But last year, though, you had the 2020 draft. You had Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and all those guys. Last year, you had Caleb Williams, Jay and Daniels. Like, you had guys in the draft that you were like, oh, yeah, these are bona fide 100% number one picks.
Absolutely.
That's not the case this year.
Absolutely. Hold on, Chef Zay. We gotta pay our
We
sponsors.
know you headed to the grocery
We gotta
store to
give-
drop your laundry off. But just
Oh, no,
stay in
you
the-
good.
stay in the
We
car
good.
one
We
second.
got it. We
Okay.
can run another segment
All
if
right,
you
you
need
guys,
to.
don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Chef Zay. All right, now welcome back to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. We have
Hey, we
Chef
getting it
Zay.
in.
We getting it in. We couldn't let them go.
Go ahead, Chef. So, and just to pick it back up, right? I believe that, in order to keep Myles, and I'm not saying that this is a given. I haven't talked to Myles, but I'm sure before he wrote his statement, it was a lot of, "Are you sure?" And it was a lot of thinking behind it. There's a strategy behind it. There's a purpose. It's not on whim. I don't think a guy like Myles would, and his representation would do this on a whim. So there's a strategy with it. But I don't think that there's anything that the Browns can offer that'll keep him if he's set on trying to win a ring. I don't think it's a guy in the draft that's going to make Myles
you can offer me some ownership in the team. Because Myles got the
don't
care
care about
money.
that,
He
though.
don't care about the money. You even said it.
Oh, I mean,
I just
that
think
changed
if
a
he's
little
set,
bit.
if he's set on a ring, they'll have to move a mountain to try to keep him here.
There was another article. I think it was Jason Lloyd or somebody who I think it might have been Jason Lloyd. He was supposed to sit down with Myles Garrett 2 years ago, and he wanted, or Myles Garrett was going to voice his frustrations on exactly what we're going through now. So like you said, this isn't something that he just woke up one day and was like, you know what, get me up out of Cleveland. This has been stemming for a couple years at minimum, and I think winning cures all. When Joe Flacco came into this organization and started winning ball games, and you was like, hold up, we may actually be close, but then you come back the next year and only win 3 games. It's almost it's like that abusive relationship. What am I getting this guy or am I getting this guy? And that's where Myles Garrett, he's like, I want to know that I have a shot. Every time the Eagles trap up every Sunday, they know they got a shot to go to the Super Bowl. Every time Patrick Mahomes strap up in Kansas City, they know they fighting for a Super Bowl. And I think that's what he's looking for right now. And is a rookie quarterback going to put you in that conversation? Nah, I don't think so. Is one of these quarterbacks in free agency going to do that? Chances are probably no, especially with the Browns.
Jaden Daniels out there. But I got one last question for you. Do you think, and this stems from your video, do you think Browns fans are because things like this happen to us.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't this, it's something else. When we went through the things with Deshaun off the field and how it hit the fan base. And people were like, "Oh, we're not supporting." Do you think this is the point where fans, Browns fans say, "You know what? Enough of that. I'm not coming to support our team." Because we've been through a lot, and losing him is a lot. But do you think this is a point? Because your video said a lot of them was fed up. Do you think that this is a point where a lot of Browns fans said, "No more. I'm not a Browns fan"?
Well, I think this is where you have to put it in perspective. The old generation of fans, the ones that have been 20 plus years of season ticket holders, 30 plus years, they getting up there in age. Eventually they gonna be gone. These people that were down there, these are the younger generation, the ones that are either going to inherit those season ticket holders or are gonna have to make the decision on their own, where it's like, you know what? Am I gonna buy it or am I just gonna wait until the tickets become $2? We are entering a new era. These fans are the future of the new diehard Browns fans. So it's more so you gotta sell these young folks that we gonna do something, because a lot of these younger fans have been spoiled. They've seen more winning in the past few years than majority of fans have seen their entire life who have been fans for 30 plus years. Mm-hmm. So until the young fans can see the direction, because you in the era where these fans don't care.
Right.
they gonna go to the next shiny thing if you don't do something there, because that's just the era that we live in. It's no more of that. I'm gonna stick with my team as long as I can. The ones that you see are the same ones that are down there doing it in the Muni lot that have been doing it for 40 years. And when they're gone, who knows what direction this fan base is gonna go to.
I understand that completely. Chef Zay, once again, man, we appreciate you coming out to the show,
Always.
man. We love when you have you on. You speak the truth. You had the fans engaged. You a man on the street with the fans. We really appreciate you letting us do that video and you coming on the show, man. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, Chef Zay.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Anytime you need me on, just give me a ring and I'm one call away.
I love it.
That's what's up,
Thank you. Look, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Return. Now, Josh, that was a lot from Chef Zay, from Joe.
And, Chef Zay said something. And, Ron, I want to get your thoughts on it. Because when he feels like Myles Garrett just wants the ring. And also, it's a new era of Browns fans that deserves winning or they're going to be out. The old diehard, be here for 30 years, that's in the win. We got to win now as a fan base or we're going to lose fans. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. You're looking at a turning point in this franchise. You're still looking for the quarterback, but now you're losing your best player post 99, and it's not necessarily close. All credit to Joe Thomas, but Myles Garrett can affect the game the way that Joe Thomas wasn't able to due to his position. it sucks. Myles Garrett wants to go win, and you can't blame him for it. And regardless of whatever plan Andrew Berry laid out to him, I don't think Myles Garrett was ever going to buy into it, because the only way forward through this is with a franchise quarterback. We know that. You're not getting one in free agency. You tried that with Deshaun Watson. It's to go through the draft. But at that point, Myles didn't want to risk. Yeah, you'd like to go get a Jaden Daniels, whether that's in this class or not. Myles didn't want to risk that, as he shouldn't. And you're looking at the next 2-3 years of Myles Garrett being in his prime, like you said.
Right.
He wants to go win a championship. Can't blame the guy at all.
But do you think there's anything that Andrew Berry and the Browns can do to keep him?
I really don't. I mean, listen, you can go up to him, you can say, hey, listen, Myles, we're going to make you the highest paid non-quarterback, the highest paid defensive player this NFL, the league, has ever seen. I don't think that matters to him at this point. Listen, he's got all the money in the world. He's a minority owner in the Cavs, for crying out loud. Like, money's the last thing on his mind probably right now. But don't get me wrong, he still wants that bag, and he'll get that bag from another team. But no matter what, he could go in there, and there's nobody in this draft, there's nobody in a draft that Myles Garrett would say, draft this guy because I'm confident he can lead me to Super Bowl in the next 2-3 years. Doesn't matter who it was. It doesn't matter if it was Caleb Williams. It doesn't matter if it's this year, if it's Cam Ward, Shador Sanders. It doesn't matter. Myles is going to leave. There's no way around it.
My wheels are turning a little bit, Maria. I'm when I think about Myles, he mentioned something. He's a minority owner in the Cavs.
When I think of Myles, I think of a place.
I'm gonna try to, because I want Myles to stay, but I'm gonna try to be a representation of Myles' minority stake. I'm gonna have to holler at him.
Oh, you like that now? Now that I said it.
This is not about the Browns, but who's gonna take care of your minority stake while you're gone? Still competing. I'm like, let me. Take care of your interest in the team. I'll attend the games, make sure everything is going good on your behalf, Myles, as a representation of you. Because I stood in a few times for his, charity events and everything. When certain guys can't come, they call me. And, call me, Myles. Yeah, I'm open, man. I'll take care of your representation with me and Maria. We'll represent you well at the Cavs games.
Are there only certain players that can, when you say, I want to see a plan?
Right.
Like, say I'm, I'm third string out here. I want to see a plan.
You're right.
There's only certain players, certain caliber players on the team that can demand to see a plan. Now, what's that one? Is it Jerry Jones?
Yeah, the owner
He's
of
the owner, he's not the GM.
He is the GM. He's the owner and the GM.
He's basically everything.
Oh, so I can't see. I feel like the way he runs his team down there. Do people demand? I want to see a plan from him.
Yeah. So
it's like,
you
I don't care where you want to
that.
go. I don't care. So I think the fact that
He'll
Andrew
lose.
Berry's addressing it,
right,
and saying, "Hey, we understand you want to leave. We're going to try to do what we can to get you to stay."
I hope there's no ill will,
right?
Because I say that only this because Andrew Berry didn't make that statement in a negative tone. He made it like, man, this guy's great. He's going to be in Canton, and he made a little pun like he's going from Cleveland to Canton, and and that was supposed to be a good thing. I would want them to talk about me that way, right? But he doesn't want. I'm already going to Canton. I want the guys and myself to have opportunity to get that ring, and that's a big thing. And I think that's what is
pacifies him to say, "Yeah, you're gonna be in Canton one
day."
He
can go to any team. He's just going to have a shot.
Yeah.
Now, if he really want to go, he gonna have to go to a bigger Kansas
Chiefs
or Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? He can't just go to a team that's almost there. Because we were almost there. And think you're going to just make it to the, you're going to be the difference.
Ravens, yeah.
It's not.
It's just when you talk about Myles Garrett and you talk about if there was ever a chance that he would come back, and listen, the Browns still have to work out trading him. There's money implications, contract
let me say this real quick, Ryan.
Please.
The Browns already spoke on it. They have no intentions on trading Myles Garrett.
But he wants to go.
They have no intentions on trading Myles Garrett. I'm going to repeat that.
Myles Garrett has no leverage, guys, in this situation. Like, listen, the Browns can deal him, but the matter of fact is if they deal him before before June 1st, you're going to look at about $34 million in that cap. If it's post June 1st, well, then it'll be dropped down to 14. But the problem is then you can't get assets in this year's draft. So the Browns are looking at this as they're going to do the best thing they see fit for their organization while attempting to accommodate Myles and dealing him to a winner. But that is not a short-sighted, quick process that's going to happen. I don't think this is going to be something that gets a resolution to it, let's say, in this next week or something.
We're going to be talking about this.
How do you accommodate Myles?
That's it.
It's like,
only he knows, right? We can speculate, but only he knows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They did make a good point about this generation right here. they're quiet quitting. They're making more money, from their phones, from their camera phones, than they are having to go sit in some corporate office all day. So they're going to pivot. They're not going to be tied to a team.
And you know
so
what?
If the Browns don't get it together, they're going to have to worry about wwho are these current season ticket holders going to be passing the torch to or passing the tickets to. Because they might not want them.
And that's just what Joe Haden was saying.
Yeah.
He said it specifically. It's not about the money. He wants to go to a Super Bowl, and the Browns aren't there.
Right.
Oh, and they don't have the plans to. So there you have it. I hope we keep Myles Garrett, but we'll see.
And we hope you stick around. We got a little bit more show to go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Return. Now, Josh, all things set aside from the Browns, I think it was just gut-wrenching that our beloved Myles Garrett wants to go.
Absolutely.
Or maybe he doesn't want to go. Maybe just light some fire up underneath the organization and helping them to get it together. Now, I have a question. Our daughter played volleyball.
Right.
There's a video that I saw of a young lady, what it looks to be as she's being supported by her mother as she's quitting the team during a game.
She's quitting
Look.
Wow.
Look at this. The young lady gets up. Her mama's already behind her, and they walk off together. Now, I was looking at some of the comments, and
her mom is supporting that?
Yes.
You said her mom supported that?
Yes, and before you say something, Josh,
she was already on the game. The game was going on.
But you can't put people on the team. Don't have me on the team sitting on the bench.
She made a commitment. Can you replay
here we
that?
go.
Absolutely.
I gotta put that.
There's no sound on it though, Josh. Just so you know.
Okay. Look at his look.
Where's she at?
Second from the coach. Well, right by the coach.
She's standing up, getting, and
her mom like, let's go. Because I told you, Mom, on the way over here, if they don't play me by the second set, we out.
Now, you sure she ain't just have a dentist appointment?
We out, baby girl.
You sure she ain't have a dentist appointment?
Pop the coach on the way out. You want me to pop?
To pop the coach up?
What's up, Josh?
You sure she don't have a dentist appointment or something like that?
So she put on the video. What did it say on the video?
Yeah.
It says, the best, not even 2 weeks into 2025, and I already made the best decision of the year.
Wow.
So she's leaving. And the comments say, a good coach will change your life. A bad coach will change your mind about the sport that you love. Coaches can make or break a love for a sport. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't quit anything on the spot. You absolutely can, and nobody can stop you. And mama right by your side. Love a supportive mama.
Yeah, we're going to bring that up next week.
We got to go.
Talk about it.
No,
we're going to talk about it next week. You got something else you got to
I wanted to show Ryan play the video real fast. Now, clearly, men, be careful when you're out of these games because people be eavesdropping in your conversations. Now, this lady posted a video right here. And you can hear in the audio the conversation of the guy behind her, right? And so what she has on her caption is, if anyone of the guys behind me, and if anyone of the guys behind me and you know them, laugh out loud, girl, he's trying to call the wedding off and he hates your mom. I've learned all about the relationship while watching this hockey game, and he hates Tyler. I don't know who that is, but yeah.
What? Damn.
So you up in here. That's what I'm saying, Josh. And it's going viral. I'm sure his fiance is watching it
them screen protectors.
in disgust and embarrassment. But
now,
then the
you
comments,
get a screen protector, they're gonna think you're cheating.
The comments said,
I can only of these videos.
I thought she was saying he was trying to get with her.
Read these comments.
Yeah,
oh
my God.
The comments said, I can only hope a woman has my back like this, leaving my cup here for this tea, because I will be back to see follow up on these comments. Commenting because I am whatever that word is, and his poor friend is like, I just want to watch the dang on game, man.
I think that's gossiper, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it gossiper? What is that?
Chismosa? Spanish, I think. I think it's kind of like a gossip.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, I'm coming back for the comments too, but could you imagine at a game with your homeboy, you just having a conversation, maybe talking about Myles Garrett leaving the team.
I can.
And then somebody sitting there filming and recording you and saying, well, he said this, and this.
Messy.
You got to watch what you say.
Just messy.
We got to go, Ryan.
No, we do.
We always got to go. Look, we love you guys so much for watching. It's going to be okay. We got to pray that,
Eagles. I got the Eagles. Who you got, Ryan?
Oh, gosh, that's right. Oh, my gosh, that's this
week. Is it going
week.
to be a 3-peat?
I got the Chiefs by a slim margin.
I think I got the Eagles. I want the Eagles, but I got the Chiefs.
Eagles.
Yeah.
All right,
Either way
guys.
it go,
We'll
be watching. Love y'all. Have a good week.
Peace.